fellow Tamers and DigiDestined, it's Mike, aka Sanaku from Overground, and today I'm going to be commentating over I guess this would be episode 2 of the late night testing series of sorts, because we're playing a game with our buddy John over webcam, and he's piloting Blue Omni with the MetalGarurumon package, and I'm playing a new Purple Milleniummon Turbo that's playing the Purple MetalGarurumon package. So this is kind of the battle of MetalGarurumons. So we'll see here that he just started his play with Gabumon into the Garurumon for 2. I'm going to start with the Tsukaimon here. This is with the Inheritable, where I get to gain 1 memory on deletion, and I'm going to follow that up with a Garurumon of my own for 2 cost, put me to 0. So the point of this deck is to scale into a Boltmon as my main mega of choice for as cheap a little memory as possible, and then follow up with the Milleniummon. And then my secondary attacker that I use is the Purple MetalGarurumon, that on attack can revive any level 3 purple Digimon from my trash pile. So we'll kind of see that in action as the game progresses. So right now I'm just kind of slowly building up my stack to hit my level 6, which is Boltmon. And he's building up his stack as well, so he can hit a level 6 because his win condition in the blue Omnimon deck is obviously Omnimon, of course. So we can see in my heritable stack, I have the Yammon as the level 2, and that's for every, if I have 5 or more cards in my trash, I get plus 1,000. The Tsukaimon on deletion, I gain a memory. And then the Garurumon is every time a Digimon of mine is deleted, I also get to gain 1 memory. So you'll kind of see some cool little combos as the game progresses. Here I'm just kind of thinking about... Actually, no, I've ended my turn. Yeah, I just played Omnimon, so now I've put John at 1, and he's going to decide if he wants to move that mega up. He doesn't want to. He's going to keep it there. He's going to turn it into MetalGarurumon of his own. And keeping it in the raising area is safe. That means it's safe from me potentially putting Milleniummon on it and sending it to the bottom of the deck. So I'm going to attack with Devimon here, and I'm pretty much banking on it being destroyed into security. And when that's going to happen is that the Garurumon in my source will trigger because a Digimon of mine has been deleted. So I'll actually be able to gain 1 memory, which I do right here. So now I've got an ample memory to go into Boltmon, which I do, and that puts me to 1, but that doesn't necessarily put me in a situation where I have to end my turn or give John too much memory. So now if I do evolve into a champion on the Gabumon, I think I'm going to evolve into Devimon, I'll actually be able to end my turn by putting John at 1, which means that if he decides to Omnimon my Boltmon, that'll actually give me a full 5 memory. Yep, and there goes the Devimon. So now the Gabumon Inheritable is online, where if that Digimon is destroyed, I get to draw 2 and discard 1. That'll increase my trash size for Yammon to trigger. In this deck, Yammon is kind of the level 2 of choice, as opposed to, I can't remember the name of the other one. The other one that lets you trash on attack declaration. This one lets make sure that my Boltmon will always pretty much be 13,000, which means I can pretty much take on anything in his security stack minus Omnimon. So he's going to attack with MetalGarurumon and then use the MetalGarurumon to untap itself. Or, sorry, the Garurumon that summoned from the source to untap itself. But unfortunately, my first security flip that he hits is actually Trump Sword. And because the MetalGarurumon is currently unsuspended now, it means it's a prime candidate for Trump Sword to eat it. So it's a little bit of an unfortunate circumstance that that's how he sequenced his play. If he chose not to untap the MetalGarurumon and left it suspended, Trump Sword would actually get no value. So he's forced to just go into a Omnimon and pass. Now I'm going to pop up this Devimon. I evolved into Devimon prior under the pretense that if he did attack with the Mega, I could actually just run Devimon into it and then have Devimon take care of it with retaliation. So here I'm in a pretty good position, though, because he's only got 1 Digimon. So I'm going to swing with Devimon, and if it gets destroyed here, I'll be able to trip that Gabumon Inheritable. And it does, because it's the Omnimon in security. And then again, that Garurumon's going to trigger. I'll gain a memory because the Digimon of mine is destroyed. So you can kind of see how the combos kind of keep flowing in this variation of a purple deck as opposed to your standard like Piedmon or Lilithmon deck. This deck aims to kind of manipulate memory by your deletion effects as opposed to using your deletion effects to advance your game state. And in this deck, you're using memory a lot more sparingly, as opposed to traditional purple decks, which I find is much better in a meta dominated by different colored Omnimons, be it red or blue. So here I'm going to go into my Milleniummon, which is basically the purple or black equivalent of Omnimon, and I'm going to be able to put the Monzamon in the bottom of his deck. This pretty much puts John so far behind. He's only got 4 memory now, and he's got to start to build a brand new stack from scratch. This puts me in a really good position here. John's only got 1 security left right now as well. Unfortunately, there's no kind of double attack shenanigans that I can do with Milleniummon as opposed to Omnimon. The cool thing that Milleniummon has instead is that if he's destroyed while he has a source, he gets to revive himself for free. So John's going to go ahead and play Gabumon, put himself to 1, draw a card. Basically just trying to dig himself an out here, trying to build up as many extra stacks as possible to try to keep going through the game. Go to Garurumon, put himself to 0, draw more cards. Go into Monzimon, that's going to put me to 2. So I'm going to draw for turn, unsuspend Milleniummon, play another Yammon here. So there's another of that Tsukaimon, where on deletion I get to gain a memory. And the cool thing with Milleniummon too, because it has that Tsukaimon still in its inheritable stack, is that if it were destroyed, not only will I gain a memory, but Milleniummon will actually come back as well. So it's a real cool kind of twofer effect that I got going on. So Milleniummon's going to go in. Really nothing else can kill it outside of an Omnimon, and if it does, it's just going to come right back. So we hit a Hammer Spark, but we're already at 2 memory because of how John played his Monzimon, so we're actually going to go to 0, and that doesn't actually end our turn. So this gives us an opportunity to evolve that Tsukaimon to kind of end our turn, or to play another rookie to kind of end our turn. So yeah, I'm going to do that, play the Devimon. It's going to put John to 2, but again, John's pretty much on the back foot here. He's got no security left. I'm threatening up a second attacker. There's no way he can build into an Omnimon to clear that Milleniummon, and even if he does, it's just going to come back. So his only out here is like a Cocytus Breath, and even then he still has to set up a blocker to make sure that that Devimon can't swing in for lethal. So he's just going to go ahead and play Plesiomon, draw a card, and I believe John just concedes here at this point, because there's really nothing he can do to come out of this play. I've got him in pretty much checkmate at this point. Yep, there goes the concession. So we're going to go on to game 2. Now, we didn't get to see much of my kind of variation of MetalGarurumon on the back end, but hopefully, I believe in this game we actually get to see more of my Purple MetalGarurumon in action as well. And I can kind of show you some cool little combos and kind of talk about them a little bit more in length. So John didn't open optimally. Obviously, he didn't open a rookie because he didn't even hatch an egg, and he's just going to drop a Monzimon right away, giving us 5. So we play similarly to the Omnimon and blue and red strategies in this deck, where we're trying to build up into a big mega, swing with our heavy level 6, and then evolve that into Milleniummon as necessary for extra removal. And like both of those decks, giving us extra memory or a lot of memory to start is generally not a good thing. Now, thankfully for John, I didn't open optimally as well either, and I could not take advantage of the large amount of memory that he gave me, so I'm forced to just play Devimon, put him to 1, and then pass my turn. Now, putting him to 1 is still a good play, but it's still kind of unfortunate that I wasn't able to kind of take this opportunity to play more cards, cycle into more cards, or build up a big stack. So he's going to go ahead and just attack with Monzimon. That telegraphs to me that he has no megas in his hand either. Unfortunately, the first hit we get is Night Raid for absolutely no value. He's going to go ahead and drop another blocker. That's going to put me to 4. So now he's in a bit of a weird position because Devimon's got that retaliation ability, and I can swing Devimon either into his Monzimon to take them both out, or if he decides to block, the blocker's still going to go with him as well. But I think I'm going to decide to evolve this Devimon instead. Because, again, I just need to draw a little bit more cards. So we're going to go into Myotismon. Thankfully, the Devimon's retaliation will carry through with him as an inheritable. So we're going to ride this all the way up to Boltmon with that 4 memory that he gave us. And now we can start swinging with the 12,000 Digimon with retaliation. So he's going to go ahead and block that, because at the end of the day, he might as well, or else he's basically going to lose his security. 12,000, really nothing can remove it in a security other than a Plesiomon or an Omnimon. So we're going to play another Devimon, put him to 2. This is under the, again, if he decides to evolve that Monzimon up into a Mega, because we had to give him 2 memory because there was nothing else that we could give him any less, which he does there. So now if he does decide to attack with that Plesiomon, we have that Devimon to just take it out immediately. But I believe he's going to crash the Plesiomon into the Boltmon here too. So we did kind of play the Devimon as an insurance policy, and if he does decide to take out our Boltmon, he's going to lose his stack that he's created, lose his Omnimon access, while we still have another Digimon stack that we're building. So it's in his best interest kind of not to attack with Plesiomon here at all, but I think he's going to crash, yeah, he's going to crash into the Boltmon anyway. Which, I mean, I don't know what else is in his hand at this point, so I don't know if that was really the best play. But judging from the cards on the table, that seems, it takes away a threat from us as well. So he's going to go ahead and continue his trend of trading big Digimon, giving us 6 this turn, which is the most that we've had in the entirety of the game up to this point. So I think this is where we get to actually make the big play with our MetalGarurumon. And I can kind of show you some of the cool combos that we get to pull off here. So I'm just checking my trash because I want to see if that Yamon's online, and it's not, because I need to have 5 cards or more in trash to get that extra 1,000. And when that does get online, it makes our Boltmons and our Digimon that we ride up the chain in general just a little bit scarier, because that extra 1,000 boost can come in handy in very specific circumstances. But especially against Omnimon decks in general, having 13,000 is a very nice number to be swinging safely at your opponent's security. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play the Demi-Devimon. That's going to put me to 4. I'm going to evolve that into Vilemon, so I don't think I've picked up any of my MetalGarurumon stuff. I'm probably still digging for it at this point. I'm going to go to 2 here, and then I'm going to play Gabumon, put him to 1. So I'm just kind of putting pressure on John at this point, saying, listen, like, you're giving me all this memory, I'm going to start capitalizing on this and start summoning a bunch of Digimon to try to start threatening your security. And not only that, by having extra Digimon that I can throw out of security, that, especially that are tiny like this Gabumon, they might die in a security, and that'll actually give me that 5-card threshold for Yammon to come online. So he just plays a Monzemon, choke us back at 1. So yeah, so we're going to attack with Gabumon. It's surely going to be destroyed, which it actually doesn't, surprisingly. He meets his blue twin brother and actually stays alive. So there goes that plan, I guess. And then John's assuming that we're going to be attacking again. The Devimon, there's really no value in attacking with it right now. I'm only going to get 1 memory when it's destroyed. I'd rather save it, but I think I'm going to go in anyway. Yeah, and he hit Hammer Spark, and then actually ends my turn. So thankfully the Devimon didn't get destroyed. I feel like attacking with the Devimon here might have been a misplay, but I am putting pressure on John because there isn't really much he can do. And tripping the Spark actually puts him to 1 and kind of chokes him out without me having to play any extra cards. So here he finally sees a rookie, and now he can start cycling into his cards a little bit more now. And then we're going to get into a bit of a disagreement here, or a bit of a misunderstanding, where I think he's attacking into Gabumon, or he actually declared the attack on Devimon. So here, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put Gabumon in trash, and then he's going to put his teddy bear into the trash under the pretense that it was destroyed through retaliation. We have a bit of a discussion. We realize the mistake. Oh, there we go. Now we fix it. So there we go. I'm not quite sure why he did that. I feel like attacking the Gabumon is probably a safer bet, but at the end of the day, the Devimon is going to become unsuspended. It would have ran into his Teddy anyway. So he's going to go ahead and play his Garurumon, put us to 2. We're going to promote our second Gabumon here. So we still kind of have a main line of attackers. We have 2 attackers that we can attack safely without having to pay memory if we want to attack with the Vilemon for extra damage, but he's got 3 security left. So we're kind of playing a bit of a slow game here. Actually, not really slow game. We're basically rookie rushing him at the end of the day, which is what Purple's really known for. So we're going to throw 1 Gabumon into a security, see what he finds. And we hit a Garurumon, so that Gabumon's going to be destroyed. And I think we keep this, yeah, so we're going to keep this Gabumon. We're going to evolve this into the Garurumon here and kind of slowly start building up our MetalGarurumon stack with all the crazy, cool inheritables that the Purple Gabumon line brings. So yeah, so there's Demi-Devimon. We're going to put him to 2. So again, we're just kind of putting pressure on him as well. As long as we have 1 more attacker than he has security, if he doesn't find a blocker or a way to remove one of our attackers, we're basically putting him in check for this turn. So he's going to use the 2 memory we gave him, put a Monzemon on the field, draw an extra card. He's still not in a position to really deal with this right now, unless he wants to hard play a blocker and give us 5, for example. Or the other options he has is that he could play Kokaitis Breath. So he's going to attack with the Monzemon. We have the option to block, but we're not going to, because we still have a ton of security. And we actually hit a Vilemon in security anyway with just 6,000, so that's going to take the Monzemon out with it already. And I think here, John just kind of knows that it's over, so in a last-ditch effort of desperation, he just throws down a big Plesiomon, puts us at the full 10. Yeah, and this could be for a number of reasons. If there's anything in the security that does have him, he could potentially turn that into an Omnimon on the next turn. But here, we're going to take this opportunity, just because we were recording the match and we never got a chance to show off the MetalGarurumon stuff, we're actually going to play the whole line. So now, the WereGarurumon has the inheritable where you can delete a Digimon you control to unsuspend the Digimon that evolved on top of the WereGarurumon. So we're going to use MetalGarurumon's effect on attack. We're going to revive one of our level 3s from our trash pile. So we're going to take the Gabumon. Then we're going to use our WereGarurumon's effect, and we're going to delete a Digimon that we have so we can unsuspend the MetalGarurumon. And then our Garurumon inheritable is going to give us 1 extra memory because one of our Digimon was deleted. So this is kind of the cool combo when you're going to ride up the whole chain. This is kind of the most powerful sequence that you can get with this MetalGarurumon specifically. So Markesh is kind of explaining it to John. He had to take a phone call real quick. Yep, so we reveal a Grizzlymon there, and because we've unsuspended our MetalGarurumon, we can actually attack again, and we can revive another Digimon as well. So we do hit a Hammer Spark, and then that's going to put us to 3. Thankfully, we still have tons of memory to work with, so all we have to do is attack with either the Vilemon or the Gabumon that was... Yep, okay. Yeah, so unfortunately, we can't attack with the Gabumon or the Vilemon, or the Demi-Devimon. We can still attack with Vilemon, but that was enough to kind of close out the game. There was nothing in the security that could have saved him. So yeah, that is it. That is going to be the power of the Purple MetalGarurumon deck, which is basically a Milleniummon Turbo Deck at its core, but it's built very similarly to how you would build the standard Omnimon deck in this 1.0 meta. But this is just a quick game that I wanted to kind of show off this new deck that I built. The deck profile for that deck is going to be coming out sometime this week as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this match. I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. If you liked this, then, you know, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. If there's anything that you want me to change about this video, or for any comments or suggestions that you had, feel free to leave a comment as well. And I will make sure to read every single one of them. I will get back to you guys as soon as I can. But this has been Mike, aka Sanaku from Overground, and this has been another late night testing episode with our good friend John. I'm going to link John's Twitch actually in the description as well. He runs a, he's just kind of a starting channel as well, where he's going to be streaming Digimon games pretty similarly to what you kind of see in front of you, how this was recorded as well. So have a good night, guys. We'll see you later.